This right here is the £329 Ultrahuman Ring Air. And then this is the £599 Samsung Watch Ultra. Both will do all things like track your running, general health and fitness, but do it in very, very different ways. And for the last few weeks, we've been using both simultaneously to track 5K runs, go to the gym, general health and sleep. And in this video, we're going to give you an insight into our findings on using both of these, and if there is, out of these two, the better fitness and lifestyle tracker. Let's start off by looking at the design of the Ultrahuman Ring Air, which we refer to the Ring Air from now on. And you get a ridge slightly at the top here is where it sits on top of your finger. And then you've got your ridges and sensors below it, which will allow you to track all the things like steps, heart rate, etc. And the material is in, I guess it's metal, and then you've got a dark matte grey finish is what we've gone for, and this is size 9 in the ring sizing kit. So it's a pretty simple, very cool looking bit of tech. The Samsung Watch Ultra on the whole is just a classic watch. So you've got button placements on the sides, you've got action button, menu button and return key. And then on the front, you've got that large AMOLED display. And on the rear, you've got those sensors. Again, that will track things like heart rate, steps, etc. So two very, very different takes. And we had a lot of really great hands-on experience. But let's talk about the applications that support both the Ring and the watch. So let's talk about those applications. First of all, just starting right off the bat, both have dedicated apps and both will give you a ton of really great information. However, the one that powers the Ultrahuman Ring Air is super detailed right up front. Now, what I'll preface this is, if you want to have a ton of data available to you right away, significant data, things like HRV, your cardio age, those kind of things, then they're available right up front in the front menu of the Ultrahuman Ring Air app. They are also available on the Samsung Health app for the Watch Ultra as well, but it does require a bit of a deep dive. But we also found that recording a lot of the data on the Samsung Health app was missing, with no real guidance as to how to actually access that data. For example, cardio age being one, HRV being another. Additionally, some of the extra features that you need to utilize on the Samsung Watch, or you want to utilize, things like ECG readings, etc., they actually require you to download a separate app as a whole and a different setup that then allows you to track all those different things. The bad, I guess, or the downside of the Ring Air is there's no actual way of tracking an actual workout, as in starting and stopping a workout. There is different options within the app that allow you to see your cardio fitness, your steps, etc., your general health and well-being, but there's no way to actually start and end a workout. Whilst the Samsung Watch has the convenience of the action button on the side, you tap this and you can go right into the workout right off the bat. So again, two very, very different interpretations. But what I would say is the Ring offers you a lot more detail that is going to give you something that you can look into and you can make significant changes. The Samsung app, or Samsung Health app, on the other hand, offers you data right up front that's more digestible. But then when it comes to the actual crux of the data itself, there's actually some significant differences. So let's break down the data to the one thing that probably most people track right off the bat, and that's steps. Now this is a bit of a weird one. While the Samsung Watch is reporting a significantly higher range of steps, the Ring is reporting significantly lower. Also, again, one thing to note, when it comes to this data, if you go into the Ring, the Ultrahuman Ring app, sometimes they'll ask you, you were walking for 30 minutes, do you want to add this workout? Yes, that's just obviously just general movement. Say if you're going to shops, do some shopping, for example, it collates it. On the other hand, Samsung will just completely collate that all into one and add in. It'll also do auto detecting of workouts. If you're walking for a long distance time or you're running, will auto detect those. The Ring, on the other hand, doesn't. The data itself, I would say, is very, very favorable in the Ring's favor, primarily because if you're very much into tracking things like HRV, so heart rate variability, your cardio age, and other metrics like your VO2 max, for example, and generally how your fitness is within a workout or a strenuous period of exercise, the Ring will give you a lot more detail. It'll also categorize that detail into things like elite, excellent, so on and so forth. And like for ourselves, heavily focused on fitness, we rank really, really well in this area. And it's a good motivation to see you are progressing, you're also doing really, really well. Also up front, what I would say is you're getting instantaneous information on the ring as well. So things like sleep, movement, stress levels, and on top of things like circadian rhythm, it'll give you all of that data right up front. And you know your best time to sleep, your best time to rest, if you're feeling stressed, etc. All that's available. It'll also give you something super, super cool, which we've been following as much as we can, is a quote caffeine window. So what that does is it gives you a grace period of say 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. where you can consume caffeine, but then you need to wind that down. That does then impact your sleep routine, which then inherently does not impact your circadian rhythm. So all that is super, super sick, tons and tons of detail, and that minutia is really favorable to the ring. The watch, on the other hand, will just give you the general data that you would get off something like, say, a fitness band. So if you slept really well, they give you a sleep score. You can then go in and analyze that sleep score to detect things like, for example, you had deep sleep, REM sleep, or you had broken sleep. The detail that the watch has compared to the ring isn't as significant and isn't as evolved to allow you to move forward in, say, your health and fitness routine. So those are the key differences. I personally think that the combination of both is really, really helpful. The visualization component of the watch is excellent, but the data on the ring makes it something that you can't really go without. But what's our final thoughts on both? And really, what is the best fitness tracker out of these two? So what's better? Essentially, it's down to your interpretation and what you want to do. Personally, gonna use both, but the preface this is one thing. Definitely keeping the ring, because the detail that you get in terms of things like the HRV, the cardio age, all the other metrics where you get your rankings with excellent, poor, or elite, for example, in some categories for us, flex, is data that personally haven't seen it, cannot live without. And I look at it every single day. I work out 3 days a week, run once a week, look at that every single day, and I can't live without knowing that detail and that information, because it allows you to plan and make adjustments. The watch is excellent for those who want a more visual approach that's more digestible. I think this is probably more catered towards a mass market appeal for those who want just information available right offhand. And again, the data on that is very, very good, and it's still very detailed, but not as much as a ring. The combination I think moving forward is to use the Ultrahuman Ring Air and combine that with a fitness band that gives you the benefits of notifications, a visual approach, but it doesn't require having something the size of the Watch Ultra on your wrist. This is a really, really great fun watch, an excellent product from Samsung, and personally I think that those who have it will be very, very happy with it, and we've been ride or die with that for the last 7 or 8 months. But for us, the Ultrahuman Ring Air is almost become an essential. It's a really, really great tool to track all your fitnesses and invest in your health in 2025, which we should all be doing. But let us know your comments below on the Ultrahuman Ring Air and the Samsung Watch Ultra. What would you do? Let us know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this. Until the next one, we out.